You clicked this video because of that sinking island on the thumbnail. Yes, it's real, but in the medieval North Sea routes, this wasn't just a legend. It was a death trap, a matter of survival and faith. The monks drew it on parchment, a giant whale with moss on its back, small trees growing from its spine. They called it Aspidochelone. It floats, still, silent, looks like an island. Starving sailors land on it. They gather driftwood, strike flint, make fire, boil water, cook fish. Then, heat wakes it up. The whale dives. Everyone drowns in the cold Atlantic. This isn't folklore. This is a real creature from medieval bestiaries, written to warn humans. The price of seeking comfort? Being swallowed by illusion. Tonight, we're not just learning what this whale is. We're living it. You are a 12th century Norse messenger. You will land on that island. Light that fire. And in the final moment, realize what's beneath your feet. But first, let me tell you why monks believed this thing existed. In 1220, a manuscript called Physiologus circulated through European monasteries. It wasn't fiction. To them, it was zoology. The whale appeared in chapter 7, between the panther and the pelican. The description was precise. Its back resembles sand and gravel. Sailors mistake it for land. They anchor, disembark, plant stakes, cook meals. When the beast feels fire's warmth, it submerges suddenly. The ship sinks. All souls perish. Then came the moral lesson. The whale, they said, was the devil. Its false island was temptation, comfort, easy answers. Sailors who trusted appearances, who stopped moving, who lit fires and settled down. They drowned in sin. Keep sailing. Keep vigilant. Never trust what looks safe. But here's the thing. People did encounter something like this. Whales do float motionless for hours. Sperm whales especially. They sleep vertically, just beneath the surface, like floating logs. Dead whales bloat. They drift. Birds land on them. Seaweed tangles around the carcass. In fog. In twilight. In desperate circumstances. A whale's back could look like land, and if someone did try to land on one, if they did light a fire, the whale would dive. So the story has roots. Twisted roots, grown through fear and faith and bad weather, but roots nonetheless. Now, let's put you on that island. You are a messenger, hired by a Norwegian monastery. Your job is simple. Deliver one sealed letter to the Shetland Islands before winter closes the ports. The letter is in your inner pocket, wrapped in oiled cloth. You don't know what it says. You don't ask. You're on a single-mast merchant ship, 28 feet long, oak planks, tar-sealed seams, 5 sailors, 3 days of dried fish, 1 barrel of fresh water, half empty. It's the 3rd morning at sea. You stand at the stern. Your hands grip the rope railing. The ship rises, falls, rises again. Your knees bend with each swell. You've learned this rhythm now. The wind cuts across your face. Cold, wet, salt spray sticks to your beard. It crystallizes, turns white. Like frost, your wool cloak is soaked through. Has been since yesterday. The weight of it pulls on your shoulders. The sky is the color of iron. No sun. No clouds either. Just a flat gray sheet stretching from horizon to horizon. The sea looks like crumpled tinfoil. Dark. Lifeless. No fish jumping. No dolphins. Nothing. The captain stands near the mast. He's chewing dried cod. His eyes scan the water. He hasn't smiled in 2 days. Last night he told you the truth. The water barrel. Half a day left. Maybe less. The dried fish makes you thirsty. Can't eat it without water. You need land. Not the Shetlands. Too far. Just any rock. Any beach. Somewhere to gather rainwater. Somewhere to rest. If you don't find it by sunset, you'll have to ration. 1 cup per man, per day. Or you'll die of thirst before you reach port. The ship creaks. The sail snaps in the wind. One of the sailors is bailing water from the hull. The rhythmic splash. 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 You pace. 3 steps forward. Turn. 3 steps back. The deck is slippery. Green algae growing between the planks. Your stomach is empty. Has been since dawn. You tried to eat a piece of dried fish. It turned to paste in your mouth. You couldn't swallow it. Not without water. Noon passes. The sun must be up there somewhere. Behind the gray. But you can't see it. The lookout is a boy. 16. Thin arms. He's perched on the crossbeam. Legs dangling. Hands shading his eyes, even though there's no glare. He's been silent all morning. Then he shouts one word. Sharp. Cutting through the wind. Land. You spin around. Nearly lose your footing. The captain drops his cod. Runs to the bow. The boy points northwest. You squint. At first you see nothing. Just gray water. Gray sky. Then a shape, dark green, rising from the sea. Low, rounded, not fog, not a wave, trees, small ones, clustered together like bushes, their branches twisted, bent by wind. The captain raises his hand, makes a fist, opens it. The signal to turn. The helmsman leans into the tiller. The ship groans, tilts. The sail swings across. You duck, the bow shifts, points toward the green shape. Everyone is silent now, watching. The island grows larger as you approach. It's small, maybe 50 paces across. The surface is covered in thick moss, bright green, almost glowing against the gray water. The trees, 5 or 6 of them, stunted, their trunks no thicker than your arm, roots tangled with dark seaweed. The island sits low in the water. Its edges are smooth, rounded, like a giant turtle shell. No beach, no sand, just the moss, and beneath it what looks like dark rock. Slick, wet, but there's a flat section on the eastern side, wide enough to pull the ship close, wide enough to land. The captain looks at you, nods. We stop here, he says, his voice rough, dry. The ship glides closer, slower now. The sailors drop the sail, grab oars, paddle gently. You can smell it now. Salt, rot, something else. Something organic, like wet earth, like a forest floor after rain. The hull scrapes against the island's edge. A soft sound, like brushing against leather. not rock. The captain throws a rope around one of the small trees, tests it. The tree bends, but holds. Go, he says, looking at you. You're the lightest, the first to test the ground. You climb over the rail, place one foot on the island. Your boot sinks slightly into the moss. The surface is soft, spongy, like stepping on a thick carpet or a feather mattress. You put your weight down. It holds. You take another step, then another. The ground is warm, not hot, but warmer than it should be. Warmer than wet moss on a cold day. You kneel, press your palm flat against the surface. There's a texture beneath the moss. Ridges, grooves, like old bark, like scar tissue. The captain jumps down beside you. Then two more sailors. They're already unloading, pulling out the iron pot, bundles of driftwood, the water skins. Find a spot for the fire, the captain orders. We cook, we fill the skins, we leave before dark. You nod. You walk toward the center of the island, away from the edge, looking for flat ground, somewhere sheltered by the trees. Your boots squelch with each step. Water seeps up through the moss. Not seawater. Fresh water. Good. That means the moss holds rain. You find a clearing between two of the stunted trees. The moss here is thinner. You can see the rock underneath. Dark gray, almost black, smooth, with faint white lines running across it. You scrape away the moss with your boot, clear a circle, about 3 feet wide. The other sailors bring the wood, pile it in the center. The captain brings the flint and steel. You all kneel around the circle. The captain strikes the flint. Sparks fly, land on dry bark. Nothing. He strikes again. More sparks. A thin curl of smoke rises. Orange. Then a tiny flame. It catches. The fire grows, licking at the driftwood, crackling. Heat blooms outward. You lean closer, hands stretched toward the flames. For the first time in 3 days, you feel warm. The sailors start to laugh. Quiet at first, then louder. Someone slaps your back. Someone else begins to sing. You close your eyes, just for a moment. And that's when you feel it. The ground is breathing, not wind, not waves rocking the island. Breathing, you open your eyes. Look down at your hands. They're pressed flat against the rock. It rises, very slowly, then falls, rises, falls, like a chest, like lungs filling, emptying. You pull your hand back, stare at your palm. There's a feeling in your fingertips, a vibration, deep, rhythmic, not the crackle of fire, not the creak of the ship. A pulse. You press your ear to the ground. The sailors are talking, laughing. One of them is filling the iron pot with seawater. Another is gutting fish. They don't notice you lying there. You close your eyes again. Listen. Thump, pause. Thump, pause. Thump, it's slow. Slower than your own heartbeat. Maybe one beat every 10 seconds. But it's there. You sit up, look around. The fire is growing, flames licking higher. The heat is spreading across the clearing. The moss near the fire is starting to curl, edges browning, smoke rising from it. You stand, walk to the edge of the clearing, kneel again. Press your hand to a patch of moss farther from the flames. Still there. That slow, deep pulse. You walk back to the fire. The captain is crouched beside it, feeding in more driftwood. "Captain," you say. He doesn't look up. "What?" "The ground," you say. "It's soft," he interrupts. "I know. Good drainage, Moss holds water. We'll fill the skins here. No, you say. It's moving. Now he looks at you. His face is red from the fire. Beard wet. Eyes narrowed. Moving, he repeats. Breathing, you say. He stares at you for a long moment, then laughs. You're tired, he says. 3 days at sea. No sleep. Go sit. Eat something. He turns back to the fire. You don't move. You look down at the ground beneath the flames. The rock there is darker now, glistening, like it's sweating. You kneel, touch it. Warm, too warm. Not from the fire above, from beneath. You scrape away more moss, expose a wider patch of the dark surface. It's not rock. Rock doesn't have texture like this. You run your fingers across it. There are lines, grooves, crisscrossing, like dried riverbeds, like old scars. And between the grooves, small ridges, bumps, round, hard. You pick at one with your fingernail. It flakes off, falls into your palm. White, crusty, barnacles. You look up, scan the island. The trees, their roots. You walk to the nearest one. Kneel. Pull at the seaweed tangled around the base. It comes away easily. Too easily. Underneath, not roots. The tree isn't growing here. It's just sitting, wedged into a crack. You pull harder. The tree tilts, lifts, Underneath, the surface is pale, almost white, slick, like skin. Your hands start shaking. You stand, walk back toward the fire. The pot is boiling now, steam rising. The smell of fish and salt. One of the sailors is sitting cross-legged, eating dried cod, smiling. You walk past him to the edge of the island where the ship is tied. You look down. The rope is wrapped around that small tree. The tree is bent, leaning toward the water. You grab the rope, pull it. It's tight. Too tight. You look closer at where the rope digs into the bark. The tree is sinking. Slowly, millimeter by millimeter, being pulled down into the surface of the island. Like the island is swallowing it. You drop the rope, turn, run back to the fire. We need to leave, you say. Your voice is loud. Too loud. The captain looks up, frowning. Now, you say. We just got here, one of the sailors says. The pot's not even. This isn't an island, you say. They all stare at you. Look, you say. You point at the ground. It's breathing. Feel it. Feel it. The captain stands. Walks over. Kneels. Presses his hand flat. He's still. For a long time, then his eyes widen. Mother of God, he whispers. What is it? One of the sailors asks. The captain doesn't answer. He's staring at the fire. The flames are higher now, hotter. And beneath them, the rock is changing. The dark gray is turning lighter, almost pink. Like flesh, like burned flesh. The captain stands, backs away from the fire. "Get the pot," he says. His voice is shaking. "Get everything." Now, the sailors don't argue. They move fast, grabbing the pot, the water skins, the bundles. You run to the ship. Start untying the rope. Your fingers fumble. The knot is tight, wet. You pull, yank. Behind you, a sound. Low, deep, like a groan, like a whale song. But closer. Underneath you. The island shudders. You freeze. The trees sway. The moss ripples like water. The fire tips. The burning logs roll, scatter. One lands in a patch of dry moss. It ignites. Flames spread. Fast. The smell changes. Not wood smoke anymore. Something else. Meat. Burning meat. The island groans again. Louder this time. And then it moves. The entire surface tilts to the left. You fall. Land hard on your side. The rope slips from your hands. The sailors are shouting, scrambling. One of them drops the pot. Boiling water spills. Hisses. The ship is sliding away from the island. The rope snaps. The tree it was tied to tips, falls into the water. You crawl toward the edge, where the ship is drifting. 10 feet. 15. 20. The captain jumps, lands in the water, swims. 2 sailors jump after him. You stand. Run. The island tilts again. This time, down. The edge where you're standing drops. You're falling into the sea. The water hits you. Cold. Shockingly cold. You gasp. Swallow seawater. Choke. Your arms flail. Kick. The surface. Where is the surface? You break through. Cough. Spit. Look back. The island is sinking. The moss, the trees, the fire still burning on its back. All of it sliding beneath the waves, and as it goes down, you see a tail. Massive, flat, wider than the ship. It rises, water streaming off it. Hangs in the air. Then crashes down the wave, hits you. Pulls you under. Everything is green, then blue, then black, you can't breathe. Can't see. Can't tell which way is up. Your lungs burn. Your chest feels like it's going to explode. Then hands grabbing you, pulling, you break the surface again. Cough, gasp, breathe, the captain. He's holding you. Swim, he shouts. Swim. The ship is close. Somehow, the current brought it back. You kick. Pull with your arms. The hull. Right there. Hands reach down. Grab your cloak. Haul you up. You collapse. On the deck, water pouring from your mouth. Your nose. Someone is crying. You roll onto your side. Count. You, the captain. 3 sailors. 5. There were 6. You look back at the water. Nothing. Just waves. Gray. Endless. The island is gone. You don't remember how long you drifted. The sky stayed gray. The sea stayed cold. You remember clinging to a piece of the mast. The wood was splintered. Sharp. Your fingers went numb. Then your arms. Then you stopped feeling your legs. The waves lifted you, dropped you, lifted you again. You stopped fighting, just held on. At some point, you heard a voice, rough, speaking a dialect you barely understood. Hands grabbed you, pulled. You couldn't help. Your body was too heavy. They dragged you over the side of something. A boat, smaller than the merchant ship. A fishing boat. You lay on the wet planks, coughing, water pouring from your mouth. From your nose, someone pressed on your back. Hard. More water came up. Then, darkness. When you wake, You're not on the boat anymore. You're lying on a floor. Stone. Cold. But there's something under you. Rough fabric. A blanket. You open your eyes. The light is dim. Orange. Flickering. A fire. You try to sit up. Your muscles scream. Everything hurts. A hand pushes you back down. Gentle, but firm. Rest, a voice says. The accent is thick. Norse. But northern. Far northern. You lie back. Stare at the ceiling. Stone. Rough. Blackened with old soot. Wooden beams across it. Thick. Hand-hewn. This is a house. Not a ship. Not a monastery. A fisherman's house. You turn your head. Slowly. The room is small. One chamber. Stone walls. No windows. One door. Heavy oak. Closed. The fire is in a pit. Center of the room. Stones arranged in a circle. Smoke rises. Finds a hole in the ceiling. Disappears into darkness. The man is sitting by the fire. Old. 60. Maybe older. long gray beard, braided, hands like tree roots, thick, scarred. He's mending a net. His fingers move slowly, methodically. Loop, pull, knot. Loop, pull, knot. The sound is rhythmic, soothing. You close your eyes. Listen. The fire crackles, soft, gentle. Not the roaring flames on the island. This is controlled, tamed, outside. You can hear wind. It howls, distant, muffled by thick walls. Rain, hammering against stone. But it can't get in. In here, it's dry, warm, safe. Your breathing slows, deepens. The old man doesn't speak, just keeps working. Loop, pull, knot. Time passes. You don't know how long. Eventually, the man sets down the net, stands, slowly, his joints crack. He walks to the corner, returns with a wooden bowl. Steam rises from it. He kneels beside you, holds the bowl. Drink, he says. You push yourself up, just enough to sit halfway. Your head spins. The man steadies you. One hand on your shoulder. He brings the bowl to your lips. The liquid is hot, salty, fish broth, thick, with bits of something. Potato, onion, you sip. It burns your tongue, but you don't care. You drink more. The warmth spreads down your throat, into your chest, your stomach, when the bowl is empty. The man takes it, sets it aside. Sleep, he says. You lie back down. He covers you with another blanket. This one is wool, rough, smells like sheep. And smoke. But it's warm. So warm. The man returns to the fire. Sits. Picks up the net. Loop. Pull. Knot. Your eyelids grow heavy. The firelight flickers. Orange. Gold. Dancing on the stone walls. Outside. The storm continues. But it feels far away. like it's happening to someone else. You're here in this small stone room, with the fire and the old man, and nothing can reach you. Hours pass. Or maybe days. You drift in and out. Sometimes you wake. The man is always there, working, mending, feeding the fire. Once, you wake to find him cooking. A pot hanging over the flames. The smell fish, salt, something sweet. Turnips, maybe your stomach growls. The man hears, looks at you, smiles, his teeth are brown, half missing. But the smile is kind. Later, he brings you the pot. A wooden spoon, you eat. Slowly. The stew is thick, heavy. It sits in your stomach like a stone. But a warm stone. A good stone. When you finish, the man takes the pot. Better? He asks. You nod. your voice. When you try to speak, is gone. Just a rasp. The seawater burned your throat. The man nods, understanding. He doesn't ask questions. Doesn't ask about the ship, about the island, about what happened. He just lets you rest. Eventually, night falls. You can tell because the crack under the door goes dark. The man adds more peat to the fire. The smell changes. Earthy, thick. The flames settle. Lower. Glowing. The man lies down. On the other side of the fire, his own blanket. His breathing. Becomes slow. Deep. Regular. You lie there. Staring at the ceiling. The letter you reach into your shirt. Slowly. The oiled cloth still there. You pull it out. The parchment inside is soaked. But not destroyed. The ink has run. But you can still see. Faint words. You unfold the letter. Turn it over. The back is blank. You look at the fire. At the glowing coals. At the shadows. Dancing on the walls. And you think, about the island. About the whale. About the sailor. Who didn't make it? You need to write it down. Not for the monastery. Not for payment. But so someone knows. You stand. Slowly. Quietly. Your legs shake. But they hold. You walk to the fire. Kneel. There's a piece of charcoal. On the stone. Used for marking. You pick it up. Your hand trembles. You press the charcoal. To the back of the parchment. And you begin to write.